to live video. Here we go. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and...
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it, I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.
What is up, everybody? Going to be a fun-filled night. Welcome back to the Caffeinated Cryptid post-snow show. We're both snowed in. Roads are good. Got to grease my four-wheel drive just a little bit. And today's guest is, a lot of you remember her from Wednesday, last time we talked on Glenn's show, Miss Corissa Grant from Worthy Chaos Comics. Cryptid. I came up with this today, and it hit me out of the blue. I said, you've probably one of the most unappreciated, decorated cryptid researchers that I've ever had, because you have deep dive every single one of them to the nth degree. I was like, yeah. I've had a researcher on here that's as learned about each one of them. I
don't write it unless I know it.
Yeah.
So right when I'm about to write like the scene, I go look it up again. Like I look them up before to make sure I like it, and then I have to go and while I'm writing the scene, be like, all right, let me make sure it's in the right environment, and let me make sure it's got all the little details and all this stuff. And
you even got the classic, you have to know the rules before you can break them thing going on with the
of course
Wendigo having horns or antlers.
The antlers,
they're really just a little naked man scurrying around the bushes. That's no fun though. I don't like that wraith Wendigo rake thing.
Yeah,
I'd rather the skull antlered.
So
on his back. I'll take it all day long, even though that's technically a skinwalker.
Yeah, it's so funny though, because they jumped right on me in the group.
Did
like, it doesn't have antlers, and I was like, I know, and I said that, you just didn't read it. And I was like, I did my research and all that stuff, but yeah, everyone's gonna be pissed about something. So
did you see my video for the ant deer I made?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I sent that to you or not.
No, I didn't see that. But I want to, because the not deer is in, we're going to be writing him soon. So
I even had to make AI make a scary looking deer for me.
Yeah. Here. He's got to find the list, because I'm doing the
been 4 days.
It's been 4 days. Well, it's a long time. It's 4 days. But I just added the not deer to the monthly subscription box thing that I'm starting. So I think I'm up to like 30. So did I talk about that? I think I did. I'm gonna have the cryptids of them every month. I'm gonna send a new cryptid to the people. There's gonna be different tiers, but I was making a list because I have 1 year done already, completely done, 12, and then I have another 8 being done right now. And then I have a long list, but my artist just upped the price like way too high. So I'm going to find another artist, but I have the first 2 years. So, but I never wait for anything. So I'm just going to start them now. So
that's really the only way to do this stuff.
Yeah.
That's on your Kickstarter, how you get your cryptid of the month.
No, I'm actually going to do it. I just thought of this like 3 days ago. I already have 4 people that want to do it, but
I would do it. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm just saying. It sounds kind of cool.
It was, what's nice is I have different price points. So I have like, I think the lowest one is $15.99, and it comes with the little journal, and then it comes with a page that you like every month you'll get a journal page with like hints and tips about the cryptid, and you could store that in there. It comes with a sticker, comes with bookmark, it comes with a print, and then you can even keep the stickers in here and all that. And then you can add a metal pin to that to make it $21.99, or you could just get the metal tier that was $29.99, and it's the metal pin, the metal bookmark, the metal trading card, and a magnet. And then there's a third tier, which is just the 3D printed statues. They're 6 inches. So you get a new 3D printed that you can either leave or you can paint. They're ready to paint. Or I think it was someone got the highest tier, so it's $69 for all the tiers. And then every month there's a newsletter, and there'll be other things they can add to the following month. So there'll be like, plushies and shirts and all that fun stuff. So there'll be options for people to add. So a lot of people seem interested in it. So we'll see how that goes. It's something that I just thought of doing because I have all the merch. So so might as well. So I might add it to my Kickstarter. It's not on there now because I'm working out the details, but there may be a tier that says you can sign up for like the first month through it, and then they can go. And anyone can cancel anytime, because I hate the ones that you can't cancel and it takes like 3 years to cancel it or something. So
it's like the Planet Fitness. You have to come in. You have to come in to cancel.
You have to come in. Yeah, we did it. My husband had to go in and do it. But I'm probably going to have it where people could do like the first one without signing up, and then they could see if they like it, if they like the art, and see what it is. They also have an option if they want to sign up for mythology as well, where sometimes there's like Greek mythology thrown in, or Egyptian, because some people request that. And again, I have that too. Like I have Cerberus, and I have Minotaur, I have Anubis and Hellhound and all that stuff. So I'll have different options, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah. So
wait, so you've done Egyptology research for this too?
Yeah. Well, the Egypt is for redemption. Anubis is
for the other one.
Yeah. So Anubis and Bastille is in there. So this is my plushie for her, and my Anubis. So these are commercially made. They're actually really awesome. I've had somewhat issues with this company, but these they did somehow the hardest ones off the bat perfect. I don't really know how they did that. They're doing my second Wendigo, but I'm gonna do it with his mouth shut because it's just, I don't know. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, that's got a little bit of Jurassic Park look to it with the mouth.
Yeah,
open.
it was a little
it's like a fossil. It's like he's not alive.
Well, not. I mean, the teeth are. I don't like things that look fake, so I don't like the teeth. So they're now doing it with but it has the elongated version, the spines in the back. So I like that. I haven't committed to buying it yet. We'll see how that goes. My Hellhound is lost in the customs, which I'm really pissed about.
He's getting cavity searched.
Yeah. And I have there's also some cryptids that I made up that are in the story. That there's an option to add it, but you don't have to add it because obviously some of the people that are going to be doing the cryptid of the month aren't necessarily going to read the comics. But we have the vampire chameleon bat, which I already have a plushie for. He's in there somewhere. It's pretty much a chameleon with bat wings, and it can, obviously blend into the cave walls and stuff. We have, what was the other one? Oh, our phoenix crow, where it's got 6 eyes. It's got the phoenix. If you try to grab them or you scare them, they burst into flames and then turn into ash. So yeah, we got a lot of things.
What's the Rhett and Link? The mythical rooster, the phoenix rooster,
cockatice.
Yeah,
the one that may or may not give birth to the basilisk.
Yeah,
that's its sight will kill you, so turn you to stone or whatever.
Got that going for me.
Yeah. There's a brief instance where that's in the story, but mostly because it just tells her that there's probably a basilisk nearby, because she needs to get the venom from the basilisk without getting obviously turned to stone or eaten. I won't give away how she gets away with it, but I will tell you that for anyone that doesn't know, for some reason, a weasel, the urine of a weasel is poisonous to a basilisk. But for some reason, if used on the basilisk, the weasel dies. I don't know how to explain that one, but there you go. But they're immune to the basilisk's sight, turning the stone. So
wait, so it works retroactively to the weasel if it's used?
I don't. It doesn't explain it. It just says that the urine from a weasel kills a basilisk, but somehow also kills the weasel.
Kills the weasel,
and
too.
that the weasel is immune to the turn to stone sight. I don't know.
Yeah, but it dies if it pees on it. I mean,
yeah. So don't pee on it, I suppose.
I ain't gonna pee on something and it die.
I know.
Defeats the purpose of peeing on stuff.
If it's like, it's not even like it's an electric eel, like where it goes up the urine stream or something. Like, yeah, no, it doesn't do that. But yeah, so we have the basilisk. It's one of the 20 jars they have to collect. For anyone that doesn't know, in the story, they have to collect 20 jars, 20 ingredients from 20 different cryptids, which you can collect, by the way, with her. That's part of the. We have a box that you can collect.
It's a tabletop kind of game thing.
No, it's not. It's just interactive. So in the comic book, one of the things that's interactive with it is when you don't have to. You do not have to. This isn't choose your own adventure. You don't have to interact.
No dungeon master.
Yeah. So you could buy a journal, and then every single campaign there's going to be journal pages of whatever cryptids were either seen in the background, because the first couple issues they're just seen in the background to give you a hint of what's coming, or they interact with them. And then so you get those pages for free if you buy the journals. Every campaign you'll get them for free as long as you back that campaign. So you kind of follow along with her because she's a supernatural hunter and she's collecting data on all these supernatural creatures. Then she has to start collecting the jars. The only thing is she cannot kill the cryptid before getting the ingredient. I did that for a couple of reasons. One, obviously to torture my characters, because why not? And two, I didn't really want to kill cryptids because who wants to kill? So, I mean, one or two might die, that the more violent ones. But generally, like, she has to get a piece of the Wendigo antler. She has to get the tears of the squonk.
That's the funniest one
for anyone. I don't know if you saw him last time, but here's the squonk. He's really too cute to be a squonk.
That's a Pikachu. I've ever seen one. It's not a squonk. Squonk was like a potato, worm potato.
For anyone that doesn't know, the squonk, his only thing is he sits in the woods or forest and bawls his eyes out because of how ugly he is. So he does have tears. You can see his little tears. So she has to collect the tears of the squonk. There's a lot of them. There's she has to get a tentacle from the Snagglegaster. She has to get straw from the scarecrow. She has to get a fang from the werewolf. So there's a lot. So, but each one's gonna have a jar, so you can collect the jar if you want, and you can store them in the box like she does in the story. The claw from a chupacabra. So there's lots of things she's got to collect. So it's really fun. But yeah, it's her going through the Bigfoot fur from a Bigfoot.
I don't know that I've ever seen this character, or have I?
What?
No, I've seen the pictures of all your cryptid, but the character that gets them, the character that collects them. I don't know if I've seen a picture of her.
Oh, Seraphina?
Is she on your Facebook?
She's on the Kickstarter.
I could look that up. I was just sitting here thinking that Tears of the Squonk would make a good podcast name.
Right? Well, the Tears of the Squonk become, what is this?
Tears of the Squonk.
It's
like Tears of the Sun.
The Squonk becomes the main character because she's super nice and it likes her, so it follows her around. Okay, so if you want, I could show my screen, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and show it because I wouldn't see her.
All right, hold on. Wrong thing.
In my mind, all of your characters are just that same one chick, but I know it can't be. Is this her with the guns and the swords? No, that's Redemption.
It's the same characters in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's basically the same drawing.
Yeah. So I'll show you So this is our page.
Oh, it's on the cover photo. Get at it. I'm so stupid. It's literally the thumbnail. Okay.
Yeah. So this
everybody
is
please unsubscribe and leave me alone in shame.
yeah. So here's Bigfoot, Wendigo, and our rat Apollo. And here Bigfoot helps her. There are some that actually do, like, mostly they're either just want to be left alone or they're obviously slightly not happy creatures. Mostly like Bigfoot, Mothman, Squonk, and Dogman are not evil, and they actually kind of interact with her on a better level. And it's funny because the Dogman, so I love the Dogman because I don't like, this sounds stupid, but I don't like the werewolves because they're human. They're cursed. The werewolves that are cursed. So I don't like any cryptids that are human to whatever. I don't find them as interesting or whatever. So she likes them, my co-writer. So we have a war between the Dogmen and the werewolves because one, depending on what you read of the Dogmen, of course, but they're very territorial. Thank you, Phyllis. Very territorial. But they also don't like unnatural things. And to me, werewolves are unnatural because they're cursed. They're not like, obviously
they're never like something positive either if it derives from a human.
Exactly. So there's a war between them. So the Dogman helps her to get the fang from the werewolf because he doesn't like the werewolf anyway, and he wants them out of his territory. So, yeah. So that's that. But I can show you the 3D printed better sign. Let me see. So this is the 3D printed.
My daughters have those special markers for those kind of prints.
Yeah,
they get all the little models and and thing that washes them off. So
yeah, these are great. We have a Bigfoot, and technically we have the Yeti. Now it's printed in brown. It's not painted, but you can paint it. It's resin, so it's primed, and you can paint them. But we have the Yeti too, or a white one if you want to paint it something different. Hold on. Let's see. I don't think I have the picture of the Bigfoot, but it pretty much takes up my whole. Here's a good picture of him. But there's a picture of me in the add-ons, and pretty much it's the size of me because he's 3 feet. So this is how big Bigfoot is.
I think he's huge.
I call him Alf because he's huge like Alf, and I'm old enough to know Alf. So but yeah, so we have a lot of I'm called Queen of Merch Queen. Oh, here's our handmade one. So my friend makes them out of clay. And does a phenomenal job. So he makes them and then he scans them, and that's how we get the 3D printed. And here's the Wendigo is one of my favorite.
Man, those Wendigo hands.
I'm telling you, man, the thing about the cryptids is it's very hard to make them unique without ruining what they're known to be popular for, The hardest one I will tell you though is the Mothman, but Bigfoot is the hardest because Bigfoot's Bigfoot. Like, how do you make him look unique? So that was a little bit harder to make look unique. But I like the Wendigo. This is actually the alpha Wendigo. We have another Wendigo that has no mark on them and deer antlers. And it's so funny because I had one person yelling at me that it's she was yelling at me about how it's a culture and you can't use that for your fiction. And I was like, she's like, you should do your research. She's like, well, if you did your research, you would know it doesn't have antlers. It is not their culture, but you do you.
Their culture.
So some people, they're like you're
will be the Wendigo with the antlers is a Scottish thing.
Yeah.
So it's not the American version.
They think it's the Native American version. I was like, it's not. They're humans that, resorted to cannibalism and got possessed by an evil spirit. They have nothing to do with antlers. So these are the what I was telling you about before, the Anubis, Bastille, our hellhound. We have all these plus. I can show you Chatty. Hold on.
That was one of the things with the continental drift with Appalachians are the same as the Scottish mountains.
Yep.
And so they say, and people are like, oh, so what if the legendary creatures just came over on the continental drift? I said, no, it's because they moved here. The Scottish moved here. But over there, the Wendigos have antlers.
So this is the journal. These are the journal pages. There's actually 2 fonts you can use. Now I'm dyslexic, so I have the easy to read font. But there is a cursive that, so some people can't even read anymore. There's a cursive version that does. In the 1880s, they used cursive more than print. But I can't read it. I can read it, but not everyone can read it. And this is more legible, so it's an option. Anyway, so each page is going to have the picture and a saying, or the words might be on the back, depending how long it is. And as the story goes, and the more she interacts with them, the more pages you'll get per cryptid. So there will be more later. But you learn what she learns pretty much. Then we have embroidery, because I love embroidery.
Is that a floor mat?
You know what? They're big enough to be, but no,
it looks like a floor mat.
They're giant bookmarks, but he's so wide that it's huge. But he looks so cool. I just love the way embroidery looks. I'll show you my vampire chameleon bat. Here's all 3 of them, the white ones, whatever. So here's my vampire chameleon bat.
These remind me of late 90s, like the software they would sell at Walmart.
Yeah.
Those kind of characters. Or
Yeah.
Had an animation.
Yeah, the art is very 80s, 90s, because I'm very 80s, 90s.
Yeah, it's the best generation, and I don't like anybody younger. If you don't remember the 90s, I don't talk to you. I'm like, what do you mean? Danny Tanner to you. Get out of here.
I was born in 78, so I got the best of the 80s and 90s. And
yeah, I'm from 83. Like, I remember the good stuff.
My husband's 86, so he's younger than me. But yeah, so if anyone's interested, remember it's a fictional version. So there's a lot of things that I do my research. There's one thing that we don't kind of stick to is their states, because you can only travel so much in the 1880s. But we do have a tunnel that connects to other countries and stuff. So that's how we have a lot of transfer. But I know where the states they're in, but generally we have them interacting with them. They're in the right environment, though. Like the burrow is in the marsh, and Bronx is in the forest, and Jersey Devil or Leeds Devil in my story is in the cave. I think we made him a little bigger. Oh, thank you. Someone said the resin statue is incredibly detailed. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I have it's like trapped behind stuff. I wonder if I can get it. I do want to show you the handmade one is just gorgeous.
I have zero talent for this. I feel like such a plebe right now.
I did not make these. I will tell you that right now. So
I come up with slogans.
I do clay, but not this well. So
yeah, Jessica's going to be there. Jessica will be my first guest when I go live, Phyllis. It's going to be weird because she's going to come off the stage and like come over to my just, oh, hey, how you doing? Like 15 seconds later.
I love him. Do you mind if is it okay if I play the 1-minute video?
I don't care. Yeah, go ahead. As long as it's not copywritten or something, I don't.
No. But I'll just play this so people, if you want to see a little of the art.
Get your popcorn ready, folks.
Got angels and demons in it too, so it's not just a lot of things.
Ooh.
So there's that. I'll stop sharing so we can get bigger.
I know it's not a video game, but I want to play it.
I'm hoping someday it is a video game, but here is The Handmaid. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
He's gorgeous. I love him. Obviously, I have one for me. I'm gonna keep him here. So
Have you looked into how expensive it'd be to get like a regular, like a furry grade mascot level costume made for those? I bet it'd be $1,500.
Wow.
I bet it would. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm talking furry grade with the detail, not like mascot level.
Yeah. Oh, he's
That
pretty
Wendigo,
cool.
that Wendigo would be cool one. That'd be a Halloween
He's
costume.
kind of like the alpha Wendigo is kind of like our mascot. I think he's
Mhm.
gonna be, he's gonna stalk her, and like I said, there's another Wendigo, but it's gonna be a little bit different. So this is mostly our, I fell in love with him. I love him. I think he's like the best character. Which is bad because he's like a cannibal, but whatever. But yeah, so this series, I already wrote 20 issues for. The other series has 125 issues, but they're separated into series. So Redemption is 23 issues. Issue 13 is released February 17th, but we already started drawing issue 18. So we're done up to 18. So unlike other indie creators, this isn't really a comic book show. So people might not understand, but an indie creator generally does 3 to 4 issues tops a year. I do 8.
Blowing them out of the water.
Yeah. So I only started 2 years ago. I jumped in without any knowledge and did it as stupidly as possible. No one knew what to think about me because I seriously, like, my first Kickstarter had 3 issues already done and, printed. And yeah, so I might be a little bit crazy, but do you do? No, I hired an artist to do it. I used to draw for like 1 year of my life and then was like, I'm done. So no, I'm the writer. The thing about it is, so I write the story, and I write for Serafina. My co-writer writes for Draven. So I never ever write Draven. So when you're reading it, you can see they have 2 different personalities because that my co-writer writes Draven. So it gives them a uniqueness to have that,
Mm-hmm.
When we wrote this, it wasn't intentional I wasn't going to release it. It wasn't going to be made into anything. We were 5 novels in. I think we're on the 6th novel where I was like, I really wish I could do something with this. I wish, such a waste of a talent I didn't know I had. So then I got the bright idea to make it into a comic book, and here we are. So now we have 16 novels written, and we're still writing them. So
yeah, you're gonna be like, how they say McDonald's is a real estate company that sells hamburgers.
yeah.
You're a merch company that writes comic books.
Oh yeah, because
Marketing firm.
The easiest way to catch up is we actually have hardcovers, which indie creators usually don't have, and I have 2 of them in 2 years. So this is the second one. This is the first one. This has
that's the coolest looking stuff. I don't even do comic books, and I'm like wanting to read all of them. I want to read the other one too with the cowboys.
Yeah. This one's more horror adventure. It's got Anubis in it. It has zombies, giant salamanders, angels, demons, all that stuff. And then this one has Anubis on the background. This is a DC artist. Both of them are DC Marvel artists for the covers. And here's our Hellhound on the other side. So they're all the same characters, but this one is a different story as it comes before the other ones. So you can read the Western, without ever reading the other one, but the other one's amazing too. So you might want to read those too. But usually in indie world, the hardcovers are about $55-$60. I bought 500, so I sell them for 29. So I get.
You still got stock? You still got some in stock?
I do. I think I only bought them. I bought the second book like this past October. So I have some of those, and I have the first one I bought the year before, and I have a bit of those. I don't put them in stores. I probably will eventually. But the art's great. The characters are great. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but yeah. If you don't mind cursing, there's a lot of cursing.
Well, this is a family show. So this interview's done. Take my headphones off.
But I will say it's so funny because when I'm at Comic-Cons, or I was a guest at the CreepyCon in Knoxville, somebody asked me, or a couple of times, at least 10 times, I've been asked, "Is this for kids?" And I said, "Well, it depends how you raise your kids." And
It's on the kid.
yeah, I said, "There's
Every
a
book's
lot
a
of
kid's
cursing."
book if a kid can read.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Sorry.
there's a lot of cursing and there's gore, but there's no nudity. And they're like, "Oh, okay," and they all bought it. So I guess they just don't care about nudity. I would think that nudity is natural, so technically that would probably be better than gore and cursing, but whatever.
Yeah, whenever I do like the I think there's a website that's it's like commonsense.org where you go
Yeah.
and look up the family friendliness of a movie. If it says violence is what makes it rated R, go ahead. I don't care about violence. We watch Game of Thrones in this house.
Yeah.
Just nudity and a lot of cussing. I don't like my kids to watch a lot of that, but let somebody get cut in half. Have a good day.
Yeah, definitely. One of the reasons why I did the Western was what happens so for anyone that doesn't know, the main character, Seraphina, is an angel. She doesn't know it. They learn it as they go. And Draven, who's the male, is a demon descendant. So they're soulmates, and every life they get reincarnated with no memory of each other. They're just kind of drawn to each other, and they kind of start over in every life. So this life is 1880. Well, it has to be 1887 because I'll tell you why. Some mythology, some research says that Dogman is mostly visual on the sevens, 1887, 97. So I don't know if that's proven yet because there's been more sightings, but that's what they originally thought. So I made it 1887 just for shits and giggles. It's in the 1880s, and how it ends directly relates to Redemption. But they're very different series because Redemption is more nonstop survival horror. They're on the run. They're kind of trying to survive. This is more like they're supernatural hunters going out to research the cryptids and interact with them and all this fun stuff. So it's not as chaotic, but it's still got a lot of adventure to it. It's kind of fun. But it wasn't planned. It was like we always knew the last issue because, like I said, what happens in it is why Redemption's the way it is. But I love the Western era, and I was like, oh, we've got to just delve more into it. We'll just do a short series. Yeah, we're already up to issue 20, so I don't know how long it's going to be.
Good enough for a full-length Netflix show.
Pretty much, yeah, because we have 20 cryptids they have to find, but there's at least 40 that they interact with. Plus, we have the necromancers that are going to come later. So, it's a lot that happens, and I love the cryptids. I love interacting with them, and all that stuff. I could tell who, the thing is, a lot of people know like the popular ones, but a lot of people didn't know who Squonk was or, the Burrow.
400 level cryptids.
Yeah.
Squonk level, I call it.
I love Squonk.
I mean, everybody knows Bigfoot, but do you know Squonk?
Yeah. Do you know Squonk? I mean, come on. How do you not know him?
I'm gonna get Squonk put right here on my arm. Squonk. What is that? Squonk. What's a Squonk? Get out.
And it's so if everyone wants to know what he kind of really looks like, mine's a little cuter than he should be.
I'm about to find a picture.
It looks like a wrinkled pig or a Shar-Pei. Like if you know what a Shar-Pei dog is. So it's kind of like that. Maybe a Shar-Pei dog with mange, but that's pretty much how he pictures it. But mine's just too cute. So
now is the subplot of them being reincarnated angels and demons, is that essential to the whole story? Like, do you plan on going with it to make other universes?
It's it's very important. Their fathers are after her. You want to show? Yeah, look at that thing.
There he is. There's the Squonk.
So ugly. Yeah. Well, poor thing. He can cry himself into a puddle. That's one of his things. If he cries too much, he disintegrates into a puddle. So the angel and demon things. So Seraphina was created by this angelic weapon that her father created. I don't know if anyone knows scripture. All the angels and demons are written and accurate to how they are written in scripture. So her father is Remnal, who is the angel that judges souls on earth and brings them to heaven. So Draven's father is a chaos demon that feeds on the souls that he tries to steal from the father. So the father uses this to make Seraphina, because anyone who knows angels can't have kids. So he creates that. However, he needs to get the weapon back. So it becomes this battle where both fathers try to capture this from her so that they can use it against the war between heaven and hell, though her father wants it for another reason. The only problem is her soul activates it. So if they were to use her for the weapon, she would never be reincarnated again, and Draven would never see her because there'd be no afterlife, no nothing. So that's the background of it. It's more prevalent in Redemption because of what happens at the end of this, but the fathers are in this and they are trying to get a hold of her. So it kind of drives them to do certain things and it keeps them,
okay,
like that. But yeah.
I was wondering because it seems like it's a really cool subplot, but with them doing what they're doing, it seems like it didn't have to be there. But if you're saying it drives things, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, if it ever takes off, you have a immediate built-in retcon button to have spinoffs and callbacks. I mean, it's brilliant. Somebody's going to pick this up. I mean,
and here's our metal pin, which I love these. I don't know if you can see with the glare.
Yeah.
The metal pins, but yeah. And I have Bigfoot and Yeti too. And I'm ordering Loch Ness, and Mothman is currently in the works.
The pin's got a Stitch thing going.
What happened?
The pin looks like a little like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the way he's standing.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun to do this. I did not know how much research goes into these things, so it was kind of fun to learn all the different cryptids, different locations. We have the Tommyknockers in the mines. For anyone that doesn't know, Tommyknockers are theoried to be miners that died in cave-ins. So they're known to be both mischievous, where they hide tools, move things around, but they're also known to knock when a cave-in is going to happen to warn you. But if they don't like you, they can probably cause a cave-in. So we use them both as mischievous and helping them out later. So
is that book about mines the Stephen King one? I've never even seen the movie.
I've never read Stephen King's books. I hate to say it, I don't like the way he writes. I do like I loved Misery. Misery is a good book, but I tried reading it and it was kind of went all over the place. And I do like his movies though, which he hates. So I guess it doesn't really help.
He hates them.
He hates his own movies. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, during the 90s, the movies were kind of crap. They had the bad CGI. Remember Langoliers? What the hell was that? I'll never forget it because I'm traumatized for life from it. But the terrible.
The only problem with so he's kind of like me, I guess. Like he didn't want to license. I don't ever want to license this out, so it's gonna be really tricky. I'd have to do everything on my own because I don't want them to ruin my story or my characters or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But so far, people that read it love it. I've gotten very good feedback. I have very loyal readers. It's just getting it out there for people to read, So
what's the comic book space like? Is it real flooded with everybody indies, or is it something you can, if you apply your level of effort, like you kind of rise to the top of the indies?
Yeah, it's more like indie is getting to be almost more popular. Now obviously people know the big threes, Marvel, DC, Image, but they have no passion anymore. They just kind of release things without any thought process, or the art is going downhill. And when you go to get an indies, they're just so much more life in the stories, So I only read indies now. The community is amazing. We support each other. Of course, obviously there's bad eggs everywhere, but people support each other. We share out each other's stuff. We back each other's Kickstarters. So at first I thought it'd be a lot of competition, and it's more like, a family instead of anything else. And if anyone ever wants to find my stuff, the easiest way to do it is to search Worthy Chaos. I am literally everywhere. Just search Googling Worthy Chaos. Go to Kickstarter, search Worthy Chaos. I'm always on there no matter what. I'm either in pre-launch or live, and currently I have both. I have issue 13 for February 17th in pre-launch, and I have this one live. So
it's in the description of the video too for anybody watching.
Yeah. But I know it's so funny because like I said, I'm called Queen of Merch. And when I first started, they all made fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you have merch. Indies don't have merch. Why do you have plushies and statues and stuff? That's not an indie thing." And I was like, well, I wanted it, and now it's tax deductible. So that's pretty much how that started. But now, like 6 months in, they were begging me for my contacts to get it. Yeah, I collected in the 90s. I read Ghost Rider, I read Batman, I read all that stuff.
Mhm.
Now it's just, I mean, when we do this, we're indie people, we're all into it. We write our scripts, you know, we have to check all the art, we have to match everything, we have to make sure everything's accurate because we pay for it, you know. But when the main people do it, there's a different person doing every job. So half of them don't even know what the story's about. They don't know what's going to happen on the page. They're just drawing whatever. So they have no stake in it whatsoever. They don't care. They used to care. They don't care now. And they don't even pay as well for artists. Like
Really?
my artists that I hire. Yeah. The artists that I pay more than Marvel does. So
How's that even possible?
because you just want to say that you worked at Marvel. And a lot of the artists
Makes sense.
that I've hired worked for Marvel or DC, and they hate it because there's these tight deadlines and you have to do what they tell you to do, and it's very strict and blah blah blah. So a lot of them actually choose to work independent, though obviously it's a more steady paycheck. But they used to pay, I think it was between 90 and 150 per page, and now it's like 60 to 80 per page. So they get like paid like nothing. So which
How many
sucks.
pages? How many pages per project? Or
Generally, most comics are 22 to 24 pages. My westerns are all 24.
Yeah.
My redemptions I went ballistic on, so they're like 28 to 44, depending on what I wanted to tell. I just kicked them down to 24 starting in the next issue because I don't get paid extra. I charge $10 no matter what. So essentially, I kind of lost like $9,000 by not making them 4 other issues, but I wanted to tell the story and I wanted it to stop where I wanted it to. So I'm a cliffhanger chick. I love torturing people. So
like J.J. Abrams,
yeah,
not consistent with storylines. Forgot what they were last. Well,
yeah. And what makes me a little bit more, I don't want to say popular, but remembered is that I have a Kickstarter every month. So some people only have one every 6 months. People forget about them or forget about their comic and you know, but I'm constantly online. I interact with everyone and I talk to everybody. So I never shut up. So they all know me. So I'm a rambler.
That's not a bad thing. I know other people that don't shut up, and it is a bad thing. You're not so much.
Why, thank you. It was so funny because somebody said to me the other day, I used to do 42, between 30 and 42 podcasts, a Kickstarter. So I've done over 250. And somebody said to me once, oh, I can't do that because I did one and the host yelled at me for not talking enough. And I go, I've never been told that in my entire life. So I don't know what you're talking about.
You would write non-applicable under that space.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have that. I don't have that. So,
have you smoked or ever been a smoker? Non-applicable.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a problem talking. I think I had somebody once say, they plan out all these questions and they had, we only have like, it was like 20 minutes and they had like 20 questions. I was like, you're screwed. You're not getting those answers. You're
getting one question. You better pick the good one.
Yeah. I'm like, if you want yes and no, then I can probably do it quickly, but yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
I don't ever have questions. I just assume that everybody that comes on this show is done with their tours. And so this is like the last stop. and so it's like the garbage time, like whatever you want to talk about, let your hair down, talk about other people. I don't care.
Well, so I have a show Mondays at 8, well, 7 this Monday, but generally at 8. And people always want to get booked on it because it's a lot of fun. People talk back and forth. We have a lot of guests on. I said, one, I don't book people. You just have to show up because I don't want to think and plan, you know?
Yeah.
And then I said, they go, well, what's the theme? And I go, no idea. I don't really want to think about it. We get on, we talk about shows, we talk about comics, we can talk about the weather. I don't know, whatever we want to talk about. I don't like having the work of thinking what we're going to say. You know, when I write my stories, I literally just write down, I just sit down and write them. I have no idea what I'm going to write until I write them. I have like a generalized idea. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. I was like, I got to write this. And I just get up and go write it. So most of my stories are generally because I woke up and thought of something while I was sleeping. So
I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's some of the best time to think of stuff because you in between Twilight and come up with all these weird concepts that never would have synapsed before.
Well, it's so annoying because I only sleep about 4 hours. My average is 4 hours a night. But then I'm up the rest of the night. I'm like staring at the ceiling, you know, I'm doing whatever. So I come up with a lot of ideas during that time. But it's also kind of annoying. It's just like, what? I'd like to just sleep, but I'm not tired. My poor husband sleeps like 10 hours, 12 hours, and he's always exhausted. So I guess I shouldn't complain. So
Yeah, whatever works, because you got that high level of high gear ratio.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, I mean, you don't really you don't have to wake up at a certain time. So if you had to sleep, you would sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think I fell asleep on the couch today instead of doing something useful. My friend my friend took me to lunch and she goes, I think you're ADHD. And I was like, so I was like, everyone's got something, I guess. That's how it seems. But it's working for me. So what do I care?
It's a superpower. If you can turn on that hyper focus, you would destroy the planet.
Yeah.
And I think I've got it locked in because Phyllis and John from the comments, I'm doing a live podcast this weekend at a convention down in South Alabama, and they're going to be on the show just because I think I'm going to do 45 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to say because the 15 people that go are going to be like, oh, who's this guy? And they're going to go just kind of, and I got 2 or 3 other guests. Anyway, it's not scared me because it's just going to be what I have here, move there, plugged into a different wall outlet. I'm just going to be doing this, and I'm obviously not too scared to do it. But the fact that it's going to be in front of people has triggered the hyper focus, and I'm like, that's one. I wrote it down. I'm like, okay, just the mildest bit of obligation triggers it, no matter the level of severity.
Yeah.
What doesn't trigger it is when I have money online. Like, oh, I spent $500 to do this. You better get it done. That doesn't trigger it.
No.
For some reason, the amount of something. But if I go to a class or have to put time into something, that's what triggers it.
Yeah, I am. It's so funny because my husband hasn't figured this out yet. I don't generally do things until it's almost time is up.
Yeah. It's
so he always tells me when he's on his way home from work so that I can go do the dishes before he gets home. So he didn't tell me once he got home. He said the dishes aren't done. I was like, you didn't tell me. I didn't have to get up.
Yeah.
So
you got to let me know.
You got to let me know. I was always like that. I never did homework until the night before, or sometimes the class before. I didn't do projects to the night of. I mean, I am awful, I have to say. Like my Kickstarter, I think I finished it the day before. I had literally 3 months I could work on it during Christmas break. No, didn't bother.
And it's probably really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. The creativity flows and time slows down. It turns into the butterfly effect, the Minority Report. Just everything surrounds you, and you can see the universe in 5 dimensions, and it just flows perfectly.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was watching some video or something, and the guy said, do you picture things in 3D?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said, yeah, because I'm dyslexic. And I was like, oh, is that why I see? I don't even know. I have no idea. And they're like, well, dyslexics and ADHD people, they could see things in dimensions. And I do. If somebody's talking about something, I automatically picture the whole thing in my head, which is sometimes not a good thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time talking in front of live audiences. Yeah, public speaking. Yeah, I could do a podcast easily, but in front of people on stage, that's going to
be a weird thing for me because in this podcast world, not just here doing the podcast, but in the world, the universe of my life that's associated with it, I don't have any fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
But at work, if I had to get in front of somebody, I'm not doing that. But if it was like, oh, can you get up there and do your podcast in front of 10,000 people? Yeah, man, it'd be kind of cool. Think anybody's going to watch?
Yeah. Well, I could see that because I was scared. Well, when I used to work at a corporation, which I do not miss at all, if I had to ask a question during a meeting, I would freak out.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a table with people. I know these people. I work with them for 10 years, but for some reason, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to ask this question. But yeah, I probably could do a panel without,
Mm-hmm. I'd do a panel easily. I'd do a panel in front of a stadium.
Yeah.
And wouldn't think a thing about it.
No. That's pretty cool. See, it's already been 50 minutes. You didn't have to worry about planning something.
I wasn't worried a bit. I wasn't concerned at all. I just want to know. I was more concerned with what time it's going to end, much less how long it's going to go.
Well, I always ask how long it is before I start, because then I can kind of rein in my rambling. And that was another dyslexic thing that I didn't know as a kid, where I would always ask how long something takes.
Bro,
I don't care how long it takes. I just want to know how long it's going to take. My mom hated it. She's like, you got somewhere to be? I'm like, no,
yeah.
I just
fuck that question. Our anxiety. I have anxiety. Don't get all boomerish with me. It's an anxiety thing. If I know it's going to be an hour and a half, I can prepare.
Yeah.
I can have
exactly.
my little climax to the top of it, and I can sense when it's going back down.
Yeah. The worst is when I have like one of these shows, and I'm like, "How long is it?" They're like, "However long you want it to be." I was like, "No, you're gonna have to rein that in. Just
No.
an hour, 45 minutes. I can rein it in."
Yeah, this garbage time. Chris got it right. That's what that's what I call it. At about 45, 50 minutes.
Garbage time.
Yeah, it's garbage time. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I can edit it out.
Who wants to edit it out?
I got to start because
saving
people.
for it.
I kind of want to be seen as more of a mommy's basement podcast. I got to start doing some clipping.
Nice.
But these shows right here are kind of like subscriber specials.
Yeah.
I kind of call them, and I don't do a lot of clipping of them. But whenever I start my 100 Days of Mothman, starting on February 2nd, I believe.
Nice.
Well, it's my first guest I'm going to have. That's not going to be live. It's going to be just it's going to be all hello.
Oh, that's close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
bring it in.
I was thinking of doing a cryptid of the week kind of thing, where just to kind of go with my monthly cryptid subscription plan. But that I don't think I'm going to have that live, at least not in the beginning, until maybe it gets some audience or something. Because I don't know why when I'm sitting there and I don't think anyone's watching, I get discouraged to talk about things, and I'm just like, well. But I know people are watching when I do the Monday show. So
yeah, Phyllis, you're gonna love it. It's gonna tentatively, and I may start earlier because if I don't, my ADHD is gonna push it to the day I come up with.
Yep.
Because when I set a date, I'm not gonna do a goddamn thing until that day.
Yep.
And even though I could have a calendar up here like that movie. What's that movie with the? Never mind. But there was a clock in the sky and everybody saw it. And that was a three body problem.
I don't know that one.
It's a good show on Netflix. But
my Mothman plushie is being done as we speak. So
yep, I'm gonna have it. It's gonna be called 100 Days of Mothman with 12 different episodes of Mothman experts. I got an insect biologist scheduled, 2 insect biologists scheduled. They're gonna be like together. I've got what's it, Linda Sigmund? You guys know her. She's a Mothman, noted Mothman witness. She's coming on. She's agreed. I got Steve Ward. He's works at Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant. And I think I've got a few more. I need 9, but every week's going to be just different Mothman SME for 100 days starting July 13th. Are you
going to the yearly Mothman?
Don't get ahead of me. I said
it's my first year. I have never gone to it, so I was.
Well, this is what I'm in my mind. I can do it, but the 100 days from Friday the 13th in July or June, Friday the 13th, June 13th, is 100 days prior to the day of the Mothman Festival. Nice. So I thought about ending it there with like a live. I don't know how but I kind of just want to start it as soon as I get my 12 episodes edited. And don't wait, because if I wait, like I said, it's going to just start that day.
Yep.
And I'm going to do a little creepy pasta about the true stories that happen, the witness stories.
Yeah.
I'm going to write a creepy pasta about them and kind of tell it like it was a dark and stormy night, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Jerry and Tanya Scarberry crossed the desolate dirt road to the TNT factory in Point Pleasant. Little did they know that their foursome with upside down pineapple they were planning would be interrupted by the Mothman. But yeah, and then that's going to be a clip I clip out, and each day of the week is going to be 5 different Mothman facts leading to the episode.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm planning though. I'll screw it up. But right now, that's because I want to do 100 days. I want to have a themed, a niche podcast, but not do one niche. So this is like mini niches, mini little podcast series I put out, and then have these like we're doing here, a subscriber special in between those times. Best of both worlds.
Is there what's the actual date for the festival?
21 September.
I want to make sure I don't have anything.
And 22.
I'm not tabling this year because I don't want to do outside yet, but I might the year after. I just don't have the energy to do. Okay, yeah, I can do it then. I don't have the energy to set up a tent and worry about the weather and all that stuff. Upside down pineapple.
Well, they don't tell you that the TNT sighting was 2 couples in a car just going out to park. Like, hey, what were you guys doing out there?
Excellent question.
and they were married. So what the hell? What were you out?
It's an excellent question.
Yeah, I look see that stuff. I'm like, wait, just a damn minute. What's going on? They were hiding a body.
Obviously.
Jerry and Tanya, what were y'all out there doing?
What were you doing?
No, Tanya's their kid. Never mind. Don't sue me. Tanya's the Scarberry kid.
Ah,
But it was definitely, I can't remember. I'm already messing it up. She's gonna get on here. Don't you be saying I'm hooking up with my dad. It's an Oedipus complex.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But my next series is gonna be I got two more kind of chalked. What if I did and got sued? She said you gotta change things up sometimes. I want to do 100 days of, I guess, stories and scientists that have researched the legends of cryptids, most importantly Bigfoot and hairy man, with Native Americans and indigenous tribes across the world. And then the third one in my mind, I want to do book accurate Jurassic Park.
Nice.
I want to talk all about book accurate Jurassic Park. I want to read Jurassic Park. I want to take notes. I want to have paleontologists on and filmmakers and directors, like big names.
Nice.
I think that'd be cool. Have you ever looked into film accurate Jurassic Park?
I read the book, but
Yeah,
no.
It is not film, book accurate Jurassic. Did I say film accurate?
Yeah.
But book
I
accurate
know what you
Jurassic
meant,
Park.
though. I knew you meant book.
Yeah, it is a horror. It'd be terrifying. It'd be worse than The Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
And it's got
Actually,
genetic.
It's been so long since I read it that I probably couldn't even tell you what the difference is.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is my husband's favorite movie.
Mm-hmm. When I read it when I was in 6th grade in 1994, and I remember it being like complicated, and I was reading a book that was at a 10th grade reading level. I mean, it's not something a 6 or a 10-year-old should be reading, or 11-year-olds at that time. But I remember just thinking it was amazing, and I want to go back and read it again.
Yeah, I got to read it again. Because
there was a scene where the dinosaur, the T-Rex, wrapped its tongue around Tim's face, and that happened in Jurassic Park 3 though, with the Spinosaurus. They went back and took all the stuff they didn't have in part 1 and put it in part 3.
Yeah, they kind of did that.
They had the aviary.
I think I read Lost World. Yeah,
I read it too, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember Sarah Harding. I remember Sarah Harding like being in the ocean somehow, but I don't remember anything else. And Dotson being on a bicycle.
Yeah, I remember that. But it's been so long. I haven't read it since I read it.
It's been like literally 6th grade.
I haven't read it since I read it, but yeah.
Well, all right, Corissa, it's getting about an hour, and
Damn.
I think this has been a great time.
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I don't want to wear out our welcome with our guests.
Yeah. I never want to do that.
Or with our chat either. So
yeah,
I'll wrap things up.
But yeah, for like 2 days.
Everybody check out Carissa's Kickstarter, and it's got all the things that she has on there you can purchase and be a backer. And she needs a couple more to move out on this next project, so go support her.
My goal is to get to 200 backers. I've never been in the 200s, so I definitely want to. 5 more. I need 5 more to get into 200.
What do you mean by a backer?
Oh, whoever pledges or buys on Kickstarter is a backer. So right now, 195 people have bought on this Kickstarter. Is
it a Redemption book 1 and 2?
No, this is the Devastation. If you punch in Worthy Chaos, it should come up first because it's live.
I'm looking at it. Let's see. I remember how to spell chaos.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I picked the stupidest word for a dyslexic, but yeah.
It's like the worst possible one. What's next?
Really?
Restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is. Devastation. Okay. Yeah. Each one of these is a.
Yeah. So if you go on there, so you could pick, you have to pick a tier. There's 27 of them because I do like 9 more than anyone else. But you pick a tier that you want, and then you look at all the add-ons. There's all the little add-ons, and you can pick whatever you want, and then you buy it, and then generally about 2 weeks after it ends, so it ends on the 24th. About 2 weeks after that, your stuff gets shipped out, and you'll probably get it within 2. You'll probably get it within. if you don't buy a metal tier, you'll get them within 2 weeks. If you buy a metal cover, then it'll probably take about 4 weeks because I have to order them. So there you go.
The link's in the description, but it's kickstarter.com/project/worthy chaos comics. For those of you listening via the audio apps, but it's in the audio description as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you could just search Worthy Chaos in Kickstarter or Google or whatever.
Devastation.
Yeah, but a lot of Kickstarters aren't finished when they do them, but mine are, so they're already in hand.
Usually there's like 5 tiers. You got 27.
I have 27. Yeah, yeah, I'm insane. So
it's like 100-sided dice on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if you guys want to go check it out, go look at all the pictures, watch the video again, and there's also redemption stuff in the add-on, so you can get a hardcover for $29 in there. You can get plushies, you can get single issues. There's everything. So, but I really appreciate you having me on. I love talking to you, and I have a lot of fun.
Yeah, you'll come back.
Yeah,
you'll be back. I'll see you at the Comic-Con too.
Yeah.
Maybe we can organize some kind of in-person podcast.
Yeah, you're going to the Huntsville.
I mean, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in Huntsville. So,
but you don't read comics, right? You're not gonna go to Comic-Con.
But they have other stuff like pop culture, like
they do, yeah. Star
Wars, yeah.
I'll be there. But I'll also have a table at Lexington. Are you gonna go to Lexington Con?
Kentucky, probably not.
Con? No, you don't go to the Cryptid Con?
Nah, that's like 6 hours away.
Oh,
6 or 7 hours away.
Yeah,
I may though. I mean,
I'm literally in between because I'm like, yeah. No. I think I'm 3 hours from you and I'm 3 hours from Lexington. So
I've been to Lexington and back in the day. It wouldn't be a big thing, but
yeah. I haven't been to this con yet, but I missed it this year. My husband was sick and blah blah. I was so mad.
When is it?
It's November. I don't think they have an exact date yet. Let's see if they do. Lexington. It's 2 days of cryptids.
Maybe something that I meet up with Glenn and go to because they like to go to. That's up there.
Lexington.
I need to get me a more economical vehicle because I love go. I mean, I don't care to go somewhere in a day trip or a 3-day weekend and buy a hotel room, but it's also get 15 miles per gallon.
Let's see. CryptidCon. We're gonna have November 22nd and 23rd, 2025. Jesus. I gotta write that down.
Probably be a freaking tornado or ice storm.
Yeah, really.
It's the worst possible time of year to do anything, except for March and April.
Well, I don't know why they're doing it November.
When's it not in summer? Comic-Con seems like it'd be better in the summer.
You would think.
Well, all right, I'm hitting the theme music, and thanks everyone for being in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Because I felt myself wanting to do something else just then. I'm saying, nope, stop it. Quit while you're ahead. All right, folks. Thanks, Corissa. Check her out on Kickstarter. Link in the description. Peace out.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.